name is Joey Redondo, and I'm doing a speech on the invention of Apple products and the man himself, Steve Jobs. So, a little introduction. There's an estimated 1 billion people that use iPhones worldwide, and about 120 million people that use iPhones only here in the USA. And so, just some credibility, so you can know more something about me, is that I enjoy keeping up with the latest Apple products to this day and have memories of using the first iPhone and the first iPad to ever come out. As a kid, I remember my dad having an iPhone. He also had another one for my mother. My mother also had one, and it was something that I would always beg for as a kid. I'd be like, please, please, let me play. I mean, I just remember always watching YouTube, uh, being on the internet, stuff like that. All right, so in today's world, one of the most common technology brands is Apple. If you don't own any Apple products, I bet at least one of your friends or family members owns one. So I'm going to discuss the history of Steve Jobs, his most well-known inventions, and several others, and why people should be inspired by him. So the history of Steve Jobs, some basic life facts about him. He was born February 24th in 1995 in San Francisco, California. He was adopted by Paul and Cara Jobs. Um, he grew up in a neighborhood filled with engineers working on electronics in the garages, which is kind of the start of the start of his interest in the tech field, and kind of where he started, like, kind of like, oh man, I like this stuff. Um, so so that really shaped his interest in the tech field. He also, one thing I didn't know about, and I found pretty interesting, is that he enrolled to Reed College and took one semester and then dropped out. And then he also worked as a technician for Atari. So Steve Jobs' inventions. So the first invention was the Apple One. Jobs and his co-founder Steve created Apple One, a personal computer with no monitor, no keyboard, no mouse, and the original price was around $666. This was one of the first, or this was the first computer they made. But it's crazy that even the next year after, they made an even better one known as the Apple II, which came with a monitor, keyboard, and mouse this time. Um, and one of the greatest inventions of all time, and is considered his most successful point in his career, was the iPhone, the first iPhone. What was special about this iPhone is that it was able to fit in the palm of your hand, your pocket, and you're able to call, receive text messages, retrieve emails, you name it, take pictures, also play movies, everything. It was super convenient, and it's something that everybody fell in love with, and sales skyrocketed. Steve Jobs killed it with the first iPhone. It's by far one of the greatest inventions of his. And Steve Jobs, and why he's the perfect role model. So he completely changed technology. Steve Jobs changed technology by always improving products, making sure users all around the world have the best and up-to-date products. Phones, computers, music players, all that. Um, he transformed tech communication into something that humans can't go, uh, that humans can go and fit in their pocket. It was something that was quick and easy, convenient. It was there in your hand. You had it, and you could use it whenever you want. And in 2003, Steve Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and had surgery in 2004 to get rid of the cancer. But in 2008, it came back, and it came back. And then he took a medical absence. But then in 2011, he came back to give his final keynote. And I say gives a perfect reason for him to be a role model, is that although that he had cancer, he came back and finished off strong to give that keynote in 2011, which he was deeply in love with. So here's my conclusion, my little summary statement. Steve Jobs is a great man who changed the game for technology by always bringing more to the table than any other competitor. His determination made him distinct from other competitors. Steve was in it to make products that could continue to evolve for years and still become even better for the public to use. One one thing I would like to say is that rest in peace, Steve Jobs, and thank you for everything you have done. Your products still live on to this day and continue to live on. And here are my sources. You can take a look at them. They're all here. Thank you.